give it up for Nazareth.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I am from the Middle East, but ever since September 11, I feel so Mexican. Yeah, I flew in yesterday from Orlando. I was in Orlando, Florida. Flew in here, almost missed my connection flight because I can't run through the airport anymore. I don't know. Some people feel the need to tackle me or something. You know, people like look at the weather and go, okay, it's cold tonight, we should stay home. We look at the Homeland Security colors. Honey, it's red. I think it's too warm for us to leave. But I travel around the country and tell people, hey, I'm from California and my governor can beat your governor anytime. Yes. California, I've been all over. I was in the state capital of Alabama, Walmart. And then went to you know, they have something there called the Waffle House. You never heard of the Waffle House. This is a place, I went there at 2 a.m. with 2 of my friends, and they said, how many? I said, 3. They lit 3 cigarettes and handed them to us. And then I had to do a rodeo. Can you picture me doing a rodeo in Lincoln, Nebraska? 3,000 cowboys staring at me. Then they start laughing. And at the end, I got a standing ovation, and one of them gave me his cowboy hat. Now, you're a cowboy hat in Nebraska, you're a cowboy. You're a cowboy hat in California, you're Mexican. And that's what I am. But no, my name is Nazareth. I was born in the city of Nazareth in Israel. And it's a family tradition to name you after the city. Yes. My mom had to do it. I feel sorry for my brother Waikiki. My other brother, Albuquerque. And my poor sister, Buffalo. Location. Grew up in Kuwait and moved to the U.S. in '84, and someone had the nerves to take me to a zoo, a small zoo. I paid $20 to see an elephant, a camel, a bull, and a donkey. In my country, that's a car dealership. I'm serious. I mean, in some rural areas, bad areas in the Middle East, that's all they have, a donkey with a cart. And people with money, they have a DVD player in the back of the donkey. But I love this country. People, we still live in the greatest nation on earth. Yes. Amen. This is the only place in the world where you can take French toast, English muffin, Canadian bacon, and call it the all-American breakfast. Yes, this is the only country in the world where you can be broke and on a diet at the same time. I'm serious. I mean, there is over 2 billion people suffer from malnutrition in the world. 90% of them has appeared on the cover of Cosmopolitan and People's Magazine. Can someone tell me why every other magazine in our nation have a woman that look like a stick? Dressed like my insurance policy? Hardly covers anything? Is that the image we want to give our daughters? Honey, you need to look like a stick to be pretty. And she's always wearing a rubber band. Hey, Barbie, where did you get your outfit? Office Depot. Why is that? Why is that image that if you're skinny, you're beautiful, if you're overweight, you're bad? No, ladies, please be happy with the way you look, because this is the biggest lie. Yes. You know, think about it. I've been to 286 prisons around the country. I watch the news every night. You never hear of, oh, we got a bank robbery. The guy is 4'8", 682 pounds. It's always 6'2", 120 pounds. It's the skinny people that are robbing our nation. It is. And you know what? The United States, we're a little overweight, which is okay. There's 3 reasons why we're overweight. Number 1, it's our mom's fault. I don't know you, but I can bet you that your mom called you after something with high sugar intake. Come here, honey bun. Here, sweetie pie. Come here, pumpkin. You know, your mom never went, come here, tofu. Hey, alfalfa sprout, go brush your hair, we're late for school. And celery stick, if you keep bending like that, you're gonna break. That's number one. Number two, we have a lot of junk food, which is good. That's why we have peace. See, wherever there's, you know, in like poor countries, they don't have junk food. They're always fighting. Wherever there's a Burger King, there's peace. Because after eating a double Whopper, you don't want to fight. Oh, I'm not angry anymore, man. You go ahead. Maybe that's what we need in Iraq, a Burger King. Hey. Yes. Shiite, Sunnite, have it your way. And number three, the reason we are a little overweight, because, as I said, we have a lot of junk food that if people from any other part of the world ate it, they'll be dead by now. But no, we have drug companies that are going, go for it, we'll back you up. Yes, oh, high pressure, don't worry about it. Oh, cholesterol, don't go for it, don't worry. Maybe I think we should have like a joint venture between drug companies and fast food companies. We'll have something like Lipitor fries, Zantac chalupa, insulin fried apple pie. Because it is. It just, you know, we're like, go for it. We have commercials that we're like, don't worry about it. And you know, I love this country. I've been to 48 states so far, waiting for Hawaii and North Dakota. We'll vacation in one and we can always go to Hawaii someday. But it's this, you know what? The worst place I've been to, I have to admit that, is Washington, D.C. This is a true story. December 2001. I flew from Ontario, California to Reagan National Airport. My luggage went to Chicago. We had an agreement in the morning, me and my Samsonite, we're going to D.C. It's not fair to mention the airlines, but me and the fear of losing my luggage got united. Because they brag, we're the number one on-time airlines. Of course you're on time because you never wait to pick up the luggage. Yes. I'm stuck in D.C. with my shorts and a t-shirt on. And I had to speak at a church near the White House the next morning. And they made sure, there's senators and congressmen, you better dress nice. Okay, so I'm nervous. I called my wife. I said, honey, we've been married for 10 years. I don't know how to dress myself anymore. She goes, don't worry, just go rent a car and go get some clothes. Okay. So she said, you know what, don't worry about it. I will talk to the sales associate and we can find something for you. Don't worry. Okay, so I went to get a car. I went to Hertz Rental Car. The name said it all right there. All they care about is filling up with gas, filling up with gas. Are you going to be the only driver? No, the toll truck guy will be driving it too. We're in D.C., the carjacker will be driving it as well. And make sure he fills it up with gas. Okay? So I went to buy some clothes. It's not like California. Everything was closed. Except for an army surplus store. I kid you not. I got a camouflage pants, camouflage shirt. They didn't have shoes, so I went to Payless Shoes. Now, I know some of you go there. I used to think that cheap shoes stink after a while. I was wrong. They stink right there in the store. That's not leather. You know that. I don't know why even people spend a lot of money and time on their feet. Feet are ugly. I don't know why people waste. Some people put jewelry and stuff. That's a waste of time. This is like putting new rims on a Dodge Neon. Yeah, and some people put rings. What, did someone propose to you upside down? So I got my shoes, I needed shampoo and toilet stuff, and Sam's Club was still open. So now I got a 50-gallon barrel shampoo and a crate of toothpaste. That was the travel size. They had it shrink wrapped. And then I did my morning service and you go, what a patriotic man, look at him. Finished, went to the hotel to take a nap, took some NyQuil, fell asleep. I slept, got up at 3 in the morning. My flight is at 4 something. I'm speeding through DC. Lord, just get me there. I'm speeding, I'm driving 90 miles an hour, and then I remember the words, fill it up with gas, fill it up with gas. There's no gas stations open that early, so I took the exit right before Reagan National. So now I'm in the parking lot of the Pentagon at 3:30 in the morning in a rental car. Did I miss it? I'm from the Middle East. Yes, in a camouflage outfit. And when I get nervous, my English goes down the drain. God bless our military police, man. Within 3 seconds, 6 black cars with blue lights from nowhere. And these people are not funny. Get out of the car, now, now. Lay on the ground, put your hands up. What are you doing here? I'm looking for gas. Why? My airplane is waiting for... No. I want my mommy. That's what I said, officer. Yes. So, that's what you get. Have you tried eHarmony? Don't. They ask you like 4,000 questions, those single dating programs. 4,000 questions. Do you chew with your mouth full? Do you snore? Do you do this? By the time you're done, you go, I don't want to date. I want to kill myself. Don't try eHarmony. You have a better chance on eBay. At least if it doesn't work, you're the lowest bidder. But it's always women and men, they always have their criteria, which is good. The first thing should be mental stability. That's the first thing you should look for in a spouse. Because I was single. When I came to Christ, I was single. And I wanted a godly woman. But I didn't know how to meet a godly wife. What's my pickup line going to be? Oh, I agape you, you weaker vessel. You look hotter than the lake of fire. Look, you got your glorified body already. My favorite was like, oh, you remind me of the verse that said, love thy neighbor. One lady looked at me, she goes, you remind me of the verse that said, depart from me, I never knew you. Okay? So I went to my daddy. I said, Dad, I want a beautiful wife with a rich father that memorized the entire Bible. But let your will be done. And I waited. And came that evil day called Valentine Day. If you're single, this is the day your friends offer their friends to you. But they save the good ones for someone else. I have a friend just came out of prison, never been to school, but you guys are so compatible. I said, you know what, Lord? She doesn't have to have a rich daddy. You'll take care of us. Beautiful, and the New Testament is fine with me. Another year, I started losing hair. It's not funny. You guys think we're in the bathroom reading a book? We're not. We're in front of the mirror going, please don't go. Was it the moose? I don't need you. I'm going to grow a goatee and no one will notice. You're even gone. I said, Lord, she doesn't have to be pretty, just okay. And the book of John is fine with me. Another year I started gaining weight. And guys, we gain it right here. I lost my waist in a feeding accident. It is. It's sad when you start erasing your phone messages without touching it. Or you can't hear the cell phone ring anymore? I hear some Christmas jingles. I don't know where they're coming from. The worst thing is you'll be minding your own business and you hear, hello? Who's this? I called you? You've been holding for 4 hours to know? I didn't call you. My fat called you. No, we don't want pizza. See, I'm with Verizon. Aren't you sick and tired of the commercial? Can you hear me now? Good. They stole that from my mom. Can you hear me now? Good. Yes, Mom, I'm going to sprint away from you right now. I think Verizon should, with all the marriage, problems and divorces we have in our country, I think Verizon should handle our marriage contracts. Because you can never get out of it. Yes, and it gives you good guidelines. Honey, come here. You have to be home from 9 p.m. till 9 a.m. and no roaming for you. But I don't know. I have a camera phone with a camera phone, and I have pictures of family. And I have a picture of my grandma, 94-year-old lady, godly woman, lived in Seattle all her life. She calls me about 3 in the morning, my time. And I don't know why, but she calls me, and when grandma calls, you can't send her to voicemail. And you see her picture, beautiful lady, and I talked to her for hours. Well, 4 months ago, she went to be with the Lord. And last month, my aunt decides to call me from her house around the same time. You think you're ready to go, you're not. I'm like, What do you want, Grandma? You're going to voicemail. I'm not ready to go. But I looked at the Lord. I said, God, I'm gaining weight. I'm losing hair. John 3:16, bring her over. I'll witness to her. And I waited. And in 1995, my father was dying, and I was touring with the Righteous Brothers, so they called me back to California, went to Newport Beach, Hoag Hospital, and I went inside there, and my dad was laying there. And one of the things, when I looked at my dad, I know he was dying, and I said, you know what? I always wanted to be born in this country, but I don't want to die in this country. Because in any other place in the world, if you die, they bury you that day or the next morning. Not in this country. They freeze you for a week. Till they suck the last penny out of you. And then they put you down after they take every penny. Because these funeral home directors, they're salespeople. Don't get it any other way. They're salespeople. And you know what else they do? If you're a woman, it's okay. But if you're a man, this is what they do to you. They put makeup on you and put flowers around you and let everybody in the family, come here, kids, look at Dad. That's what he would look like with makeup and flowers. When I heard that, I said, cremate me. Then I found out what they do. They put you in this beautiful pastel vase, and then they sprinkle your ashes on a flower field. I'm like, no. Take my ashes, put them in a barbecue somewhere. Or sprinkle them over Yankee Stadium, something, or Home Depot, whatever. Don't humiliate me after I die. No makeup for me. But you know what? I want you to know, this is the best country in the world with the best system. We're a capitalist system. It's the best system in the world out there, people. But you have to know, from the minute you're born till the day you die, someone's going to sell you something. You're born, and who comes after you? The Huggies people will come after you. Then the Gerber boy. Have you heard of Gerber boy? That bad food that you give to your babies who still don't have any taste buds, but still know it's bad food. They're like... They're giving you a hand. They're selling life insurance for $1 for a baby. You should know it's bad food. It's going to kill them. And then after that comes, if you're a girl, Mattel and Barbie will come after you. If you're a boy, Fisher-Price and Nintendo will come after you. And then everybody else in the world will try to sell you stuff. And then you get really old. And the drug companies will come after you. And the Huggies people will come back. And then the funeral home directors, and then they freeze you till they make sure they got the last penny. But I looked at my dad, and my dad said, son, would you do me a favor? I said, what? He said, would you go to Israel for me? I said, sure. He said, would you go to the Gaza Strip for me? I said, no. Scary, the Gaza Strip. You know, you got few people there with uneven facial hair going, death to America, and they're wearing a Nike shirt. Separation of apparel and state. Now, don't get me wrong. I grew up in the Middle East. And I know democracy might not work there. Because you know what? It's not their fault. The people there were under occupation for so long that every person there has an opinion. That's why when we were little, we couldn't play Ring Around the Rosie. Because if you can get 3 Arabs to go in one direction, we would never have problems in the Middle East. Yes. And I'm an Arab American, and I love, I'm as American as sugar-free apple pie, people. You know, I love, I drove a red Chevy. I know that Leroy Brown is meaner than the junkyard dog. I stayed at Hotel California. I've been to the levee, and the levee was dry. And I can never understand that song. I think you have to be born here to know it. I don't know. And you know what? I'm easygoing until someone cuts in line in front of me. That's the American thing. American would love everybody. They are very open. But the minute you cut in line in front of them, they'll kill you. I have a mortgage. I'm on some form of prescription medication. My credit cards are full, but I still think I have money. And I still don't know if Richard Simmons is male or female. Is that American enough? I had sweet tea in Atlanta. I tipped cows in Wisconsin. I've done it all. But when I travel around the world, I'm starting to get this sense from some people, which really irritates me, that they come to me, they said, we're embarrassed about America. And some of them say, we're going to boycott American stuff. And I want to say to these people, with all the love that I have, if you want to boycott, I don't want you to do a half-hearted boycott. So I'm going to help you out, so you do it right. If you're driving or you're flying on a plane, get off. Get off it. American inventions. So what are you going to do? Walk home. Make sure you don't have rubber soles because Charles Goodyear will be very upset. He's an American. So when you go home, don't use an escalator or an elevator because they're American inventions. And go home and don't use your computer because it could be Windows or Mac. Both Americans. So what do I do? Zippity-doo-dah somewhere else. Well, you can't zippity-doo-dah because the zipper was invented in America. So you go, I don't need zippers anymore. I'm going to use buttons. Well, go to your seamstress, but make sure she's not using a Singer sewing machine. He's an American. So you go, what do I do? I'm going to shoot myself. Well, don't use a revolver gun. It's an American. And don't shoot someone else because you might end up in the gas chamber. You don't want to be in an American-made invention. So you go, what am I going to do? I'm going to leave Earth. You can. There's a shuttle. Sorry, made in America. So you go, what do I do? I said, you know what? Be nice. Because after all, we invented the atomic bomb. Right? Well, I did what my daddy told me. I went to Israel. I drove to the Gaza Strip. And the first night I'm there, I'm sitting having dinner with my cousin, his fiancée, and her sister. And she was pretty. Her sister was pretty. I said, no. Only a Christian, godly woman. I can't. So I look at my cousin. I said, man, you need Jesus Christ. He changed my life. He can change yours. My cousin looks at the girls, goes, don't listen to him. He's a born-again Christian. Her sister said, me too. I said, would you like to marry me? That's what came out of my mouth. She said, I've been praying for a born-again believer to come to this part of the world. Let me fast for 3 days. I'll get back to you. 3 days later, she came back. She goes, I'm starving. Let's do it. Yes. That's how I met my wife. I prayed for a godly woman. I waited on the Lord, and He blessed me with a wife the same day I saw her. We asked her to marry me, and I came back to the U.S. I didn't have any money to get married because I was doing love offerings, and there was no love in the offerings. But in this country, you don't need money to get married. Listen to me, single people. You don't need money to do anything in this country. This is what you do. When you're ready to get married, go to any department store. Bed Bath & Beyond, Crate & Barrel, Macy's, whatever. Pick whatever you want. Don't pay for it. Just register it. And come home and send a card to every friend you know. And they will go buy it, wrap it up nicely, and deliver it to you for a piece of chocolate cake. It's legal. It's legal. I would love to meet the genius who thought of that idea. But you guys just stop short of taking advantage of it. Next time you want to remodel the kitchen, remodel the kitchen shower. Buy a car, buy a new car shower. Buy the cake, they'll come. In the Middle East, it's different. I paid for the entire wedding, 600 people. And at the end of the wedding, this is the culture. They all lined up in one line and gave the bride jewelry, mostly gold. By the time they were done, my wife looked like Snoop Doggy Dogg. You know those rappers with the gold rings, gold chains, gold teeth? I spent 3 weeks in Los Angeles after the wedding going, hey man, you want to buy a gold watch? Hurry up, it's not stolen, I just want a toaster, okay? But in 1996, I went back and we got married and I brought her here for the first time. Took her to her first amusement park. Macy's. I love the way my wife learned how to shop from you ladies. The second day she moved to America, she learned from you how to shop. This is how we men shop. I bought this shirt at Macy's. Took me 3 minutes to buy it. Why? Because the mall was designed by a man. It has 28 exits, and the men's clothing are always next to the parking lot. So you pull in there, keep your truck running, get in there, get your shirt, and come out. 3 minutes. I came home and said, honey, what takes you forever to shop? It took me 3 minutes. She goes, did you look around for other deals, any specials, anything on sale, other colors or clearance look like it? No, that's what I want, that's what I got. She goes, that's not fair. This is like going hunting and shooting an animal in the head. There is no sport to it. This is how they do it. They go to Macy's. Look at a dress from far away. They make sure the dress cannot see them or know they're even interested in it. They hide behind the decoys, the mannequins with no heads. And then for the next 6 weeks, they go back to the store every day and hunt that dress down from rack to rack while it's running away from them. Until that poor dress is now 80% dead. And it's away from the rest of the herd. On a separate clearance rack. Scared, wrinkled on a broken hanger. Oh no, those bloodthirsty women, they wait. And wait till they get that additional 10% coupon. And they add to it, apply for the credit card and get additional 10% and boom, bring it home. Baby, I paid $5 for that $900 dress. Still moving, you should have waited. Still have some life in it. Just mount it next to the bear with the bullet in his head. But I travel around the country when I ask people if they have any hunters. In California, we didn't get a lot of hunters. But there's always a hunter there. And one time I asked somebody, I said, what do you hunt for? And he goes, ducks. I'm like, what, are you dressed like bread and wait at the park? See, hunting is not a sport. It's fun, but it's not a sport. Now, if you can run after that deer and bring him down with your hands, I'll watch it on ESPN. But to shoot him first, I can take Mike Tyson if I get to shoot him first. And you know what else hunters do? They think it's a macho sport. It's not. Hunters, you know what they do? They hide in a tree with a whistle. That's not macho. And you know what else they do, ladies? Hunters, they sit there for 4 hours, quiet, listening. You didn't think men are capable of sitting there for 4 hours, quiet, listening. We can if we get to shoot something afterwards. But I don't know. This is something I never shared with my wife. I'm scared of animals. Yeah, and people like, oh, those are endangered species. Let them go. Most of the endangered species are stuff that can kill you and eat you. You know, I always get invited to speak at pastors' conferences. And where do they do it? Retreat centers. Big Bear Mountain. I should have known from the name, Big Bear Mountain. They didn't name it Big Bear Mountain because there's like cabins in there. So they called me. I took my wife. We went there at 11 at night. They said, we're going to give you your secluded cabin. So you and your wife, just can, and your family can be alone. Okay. So we went up at 11 at night. I'm walking to my cabin door. Of course not. My wife is behind me. She goes, you're not scared, are you? I said, no. So I put the biggest key in my finger right there. I'm ready. I'm a city boy. What's going to happen, Someone's going to mug us. I hit him and we run. So I'm walking to my cabin, and she's walking behind me. And there's an 8-foot bear in the trash can right next to the cabin door. My wife, till death do us part, ran back to the car. Which is good, gave me room to get scared on my own, Nobody's going to bother me. I can get scared now. So I'm trying to remember what should I do, because Animal Planet said, you know what? When you see an animal like that, try to look bigger. So I went, boom! Then I remember we just came from Applebee's where they had the $9.95 salmon special. So I'm going. So the bear thought I'm calling him. So he started walking at me. They say don't run when you see an animal because it does something to their instinct. No, run. I ran back to the car and we went down the hill. Now, I don't mind dying, but when I die, I want Court TV to do a special on my death, not Animal Planet. I don't know. But I love my wife. We've been married for 10 years, and Valentine, I went to get her a card again, which is one of the hardest things for me to do, because this country is not prepared for marriages that last over 2 months. You don't believe me? Read all the American greetings on Hallmark cards. They're all made for 2 people who've been married 2 months. One card said, honey, every time I see you, I hold my breath. Yeah, we did that in the beginning. You can't hold your breath for 10 years. You'll turn blue. Once in a while when I come home, I hold my breath. I forgot the milk. Another card said, honey, I want to stare in your eyes from sunrise to sunset. How many ladies want their husbands to stare in their eyes from sunrise to sunset? None. You know what you call that? Unemployment. Yes. If your husband is staring in your eyes from sunrise to sunset, he needs to get a job. So after my wife came here, we got married. A year and a half into the marriage, she got pregnant. We went to Lamaze. Anybody been to Lamaze? It's a French, yes. It's a French word that means don't waste your money. The baby's going to come out anyway. We had a beautiful baby boy. We named him Newport Beach. 2 years later, God gave us baby Carol. Sleeps all day, stays up all night. I'm pro-life, but not at 2 in the morning. I love my kids. I want to be a good father. I listen to Dobson, Focus on the Family. I listen to every psychiatrist, Christian, to learn. I pray every night for my kids. And it's hard to raise kids nowadays. Because one of the things I'm going to teach them is like, if you make a mistake, you pay the price. And you know, the other day we went to the grocery store, and the cashier gave us $20 more in change. So I said, kids, what do we do? They go, we go back. I said, good kids. I went back, I said, ma'am, you made a mistake. You gave us $20 more in change. She goes, oh, thank you, you're so sweet. I said, what happens when someone makes a mistake? They go, they pay the price. I said, good, we're keeping the $20. But I don't know, I want to be a good father, a good daddy. I want to keep my promises. Because I promised my daughter once, she said, Daddy, I want a Snow White castle for my birthday. I said, okay. And then we went to Disney store. And it was $100 for a castle, $100, small castle. I said, $100, do you have timeshare? Can we rent it for the weekend? They go, no. I said, Carol, you know, honey, this is just not a good time to buy real estate. The rates are up, and you know, we can never rent this thing. It's too small. There's no value in it. She goes, but Daddy, you promised. I said, you know what? On your birthday, I'm going to get you Snow White to come to our house and do like face painting and balloons. She goes, pinky promise, pinky promise. And I forgot. Till the night before. So I'm flipping through the yellow pages. And you know what? I got to tell you one advice, daddies. Don't try to save money when it comes to children entertainment. Because everybody wanted like $300, $200 for a Snow White. Just look like. And finally, I could call a place in Santa Ana, California, and the guy goes, $40. I said, Snow White? He goes, looks like Snow White. Sounds like Snow White. I said, hey, it looks like a duck, sounds like a duck. It's a duck. Tomorrow at noon. Okay. So the next day, we got all the neighbors, all the friends. Everybody's ready, waiting at the door, just staring at the door. Carol is shaking. She goes, Daddy, Snow White's coming to our house. I go, maybe. She goes, you pinky promise. Okay, don't worry. Daddy keeps his word. And then at noon, the door knocks. We open the door, and I kid you not, the 6'4" thing walks into the house with a Snow White outfit, hairy legs, white socks, black boots. He's like, where's Carol? I'm like, here's her $40, just leave, go. And Carol runs and grabs it from the leg, and she goes, Daddy, you're the best father in the world. Thank you, Daddy. Daddy, is she going to eat the apple? I'm like, she already did, and it's stuck in her throat. So don't cut down on children entertainment. And now we're getting to the stage where my son's 8, and now he wants to do baseball. Now, I know nothing about baseball. I grew up in Kuwait. We played soccer. Nobody knew what baseball was. This is an American thing. And I'm like, okay, I want my son to be an American, so let's go baseball. So we went to this minor team, whatever, pony team. And the coach had an attitude. Goes, just get him a bat, a mitt, a cup, cleaves. Like, what do you speak? Speak English, man. What do you... He goes, go to the store. So I went to the Sports Authority. Of course, it's not named after the knowledge of the people that work there. I'm sorry. I said, do you have a mitt? He gives me one glove. I'm like, where's the other one? I'm serious. This is my knowledge of baseball. He goes, no, you just need one. Okay, it's for the kid. He goes, where else? I said, cleats. He gives me a shoes. Okay, why didn't they call it shoes? It's cleats. And then I go, I want a cup. He goes, what size? I said, what, a gallon, a liter, a mug? I don't know. It's hot out there. He's going to be thirsty. I told the coach, I can get us some water. He goes, no, a cup. So he gives me this oxygen thing. I'm like, do I buy the tank separately? Because he can't drink from it. So I'm just learning all this. But I love my kids because my kids go to public school. in Southern California. Would you people pray for me? My kids go to a public school in Southern California. At Christmas, I went to the school to pick up my child, and the lady gives me a flyer. I said, what is this? He goes, this is for the winter holiday banquet. I said, winter holiday banquet? The closest winter to us is Colorado. What is winter holiday? She goes, I said, you mean Christmas? She goes, no! You can't say that here. You'll offend people. I said, Merry Christmas. She goes, I said, Halloween. Didn't do anything to her. You're not scared of Halloween, but you're scared of Christmas. I don't understand the whole Halloween thing and the whole scary. The scary was just like stuff, you'll be scared with this like web and stuff. If you're a janitor, you should be scared of that decoration. But then people to go to to give their team names, scary names for their teams. It's in California, we have what? The Angels and the Padres. That's not scary. That's good names. But then I was in Canada once. They have a hockey team called the Maple Leafs. How scary is that? Oh, watch out, it's fall. They might fall on us. Someone gonna rack him up or something. We need scary team names, real scary names, not the Lion and the Cubs. No, scary name, like the Baltimore bird flu. The Dearborn militant Islamists. The San Francisco ACLU. Because after reading that winter holiday banquet flyer, this is what I'm going to do next Christmas, and I want your help, people. I'm going to dress like a shepherd. Build a manger right across the street from the ACLU headquarters. And when they come out of their office, I'm going to go, Merry Christmas! Ah! Yes. Because this is what bothered me. You know what they're going to do? They are passing now condoms and, stuff for our high school kids in public schools. And I went to the principal. I said, why don't we teach them abstinence? She goes, we do, but just in case. That's the wrong logic. You don't go to Macy's and they go, no shoplifting, but just in case, here's a trench coat. What's up with that? And then our kids come home and they turn the TV on, and what's on TV? Violence, violence, violence. Especially, primetime TV. If people from other countries watch our primetime television shows, this is the only conclusion they could come up to. 50% of Americans are murdered. The other 50% are detectives trying to find out who killed them. And it's always like I proved it to myself. I turned the TV on. I went to ABC. There was a show on people on an island shooting at each other. Went to NBC, a court case show about someone who shot another. Went to ESPN, 2 guys were boxing. Went to the Food Channel, 1 guy was beating an egg. You get the point. But and you know what? And there's always that, is that entertainment? Does someone come from work and says, honey, I'm just so tired. I'm just going to sit and watch people get blown away. That will make me feel better. And I'm thinking, you turn the Nintendo on and there's shooting and blood. You go to the theater, it's blood this and blood that and blood movie and blood that. And I'm thinking, if we can't stop it, let's use it to teach our kids. Come here, honey. You got 150 people, you shot 50. How many are left? Good math. Keep watching. I don't know. I'm just being sarcastic, but it bothers me because we are more creative in the entertainment business that we can do a much better programs. The number 1 shows are the ones about helping people, but they don't get that. And you go to school, and now a lot of our kids are pierced. They got metal in their faces. They look like they had a fight with Home Depot. What kind of message are you trying to give people? I don't age, I rust. I don't know about Home Depot. We just bought a house, and I just found out I don't care how good your friends are, they will only help you move once. And you go to Home Depot, and you spend 2 hours trying to find someone to help you with an apron. And once you find him, you become very protective of them. Hey, he's mine, leave him alone. Take your apron off so no one can know, you're mine. But that kid at Subway, he had an earring that was tied. And he's like, can I help you? I'm like, yeah. He goes, what are you looking at? What do you think I'm looking at? He goes, what do you want me to do? Well, don't go fishing. He goes, what do you want? I said, a foot-long tuna. I kid you not. His jeans is down to here. I'm not against that or anything, but I'm just saying, you want white bread or wheat bread? I'm like, what, did you lose weight since this morning? He goes, do you want pickles? I said, let him go, I'm not looking. Hold the vinegar and hold your pants. Then his friend comes out with 10 rings in his lip. I'm like, come here, keychain, take him off. He took him off, he started drinking, he started leaking. Then their other friend comes out with blue hair. How do you get blue hair? You chew in the 2000 flush cubes? Don't get blue hair, you confuse birds. Water, no, it's the head. This guy had a nose ring and an earring and a chain that went across. And if you pull it, it flushes. Thank you, I'm Nazareth. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.